tell y'all, we talking about fatherhood today. I have had so many encounters with good fathers and bad fathers, and in between fathers, and fathers who don't know God and fathers who do know God, who fathers who know of God, abusive fathers, and different levels of abuse. Uh, Abuse because they don't know what they're doing, abuse because they are verbally abusive, abuse because they're neglectful, abuse because they are mothers too, but we talking about daddies today. Abuse because they are intentionally harmful, angry, don't know how to balance life, so they just frustrated, and take it out on whoever's closest to them, whether it's their spouse or children. And guys, I need y'all to know, if you are a father, it is not just the children, it's the woman in your life too. You are a provider. You are not replacing God in your woman's life, but you are a Baba figure, a father figure. That's why the father hands that woman over to you in marriage, that you take over the role of her protection, provision, guidance, responsibility, all that. Even in the military, if the spouse does something wrong, the husband is held accountable. So I want to say all that as a prelude to the extremes of fatherhood and the responsibility of fatherhood. If you don't know, it's not an excuse. You need to learn about things and seek to gain more knowledge about being a father. I had to learn what it meant to be a man. I tell you, when my daughter was born, the first thing I did was get saved, because I was like, I don't know how to be a better man other than following God. I ain't know nothing about Jesus to the point that I know now, but I said I want to thank you, Lord, for the food in Jesus' name. I want to honor God so that my daughter attracts a good man, because I don't want her to attract a bad man or whatever. So it was just recognizing that I want to be better, and the only way I know to be better is to go to God. So in all that, I have just been on this journey to be a better father. And I realized with my adult children, I can't father them the same way as I do with my adolescent children. And it becomes a point of your responsibility as a father is to show as much God in you as you can. And at the same time, um, when you showing God, go to the gas station, baby. When you showing God, you cannot expect to be perfect, but at the same time, you have to show grace and mercy and truth. You have to apologize when you're wrong. You have to encourage. I mean, just all these different things that you need to do. Like right now, she ain't got no gas in her car. You know what I'm saying? But we finna stop and get some gas. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna let her take over while I'm doing this. My kissy face finna take over. If you want to read script, read script.
Okay. Um, Psalms 103:13. As a father shows compassion to his children, so the Lord shows compassion to those who fear him. Ephesians 6:4. Fathers, do not provoke your children to anger, but in the discipline, bring them up in the discipline and instruction of the Lord. Proverbs 27. The righteous who walks in his integrity, blessed are his children after him. Fathers, oh, sorry. Colossians 3:21. Fathers, do not provoke your children, lest they become discouraged. Proverbs 4:1-9. Hear, O sons, of fathers' instructions, and be attentive that you may gain insight. For I give you good precepts. Do not
Keep on.
do not forsake my teaching. When I was a son with my father, tender, the only one in the sight of my mother, he taught me and said to me, let your heart hold fast my words, keep my commandment and live, get wisdom, get insight, don't forget and do not turn away from words of my mouth.
So anyway, that was our commercial break. But anyway, I want to talk about some examples of fatherhood that I've seen. I've seen some mid-aged fathers who got grandkids, and I've seen. Okay, let me just talk it straight. So I'm not gonna call names. Y'all know I don't do that. But I have seen some guys who have not illustrated some of the best feats. Let's talk about the angry dad. And I used to be an angry dad because I didn't know how to balance work. All I knew was work. I didn't understand that you gotta relax sometimes. All I knew was provide and protect, but learning to protect from myself, and not that I'm like going up somebody's head all the time, but sometimes, it may not, the verbalization of things may not come out the right way or whatever. You may not communicate in a way that is effective that can be received. I mean, a lot of fussing ain't always the best thing. Also, I've learned, I mean, I think the worst case of fatherhood that I've seen was when I was teaching. This girl was being sexually abused by her blood father, and her father made her break up with her boyfriend, and it was just like, oh my God, like this is like the worst, like this is the worst. Like, what are you showing your daughter? Like, what are you showing your daughter? This is who she's to look for protection. And the mother was deceased or whatever, but it's just like, man. And I mean, just another scene like just negligent fathers, just not there, just totally not there. So I mean, so busy out for self, and I'm not talking about incarcerated fathers. I'm talking about folks who just been out for self and don't care about their kids, and want to come back in their kids' life after they older for what they can do for them, and just don't understand that you've sown seed in the garden, whether it's your son or your daughter, and it comes out differently. And with girls, it comes out in anger and unhealthy relationships with other dudes. In guys, it comes out with anger and unhealthy relationship with other females, as well as not knowing how to treat a woman. And when you leave a child to figure out stuff for themselves, it is not a good place. As a father, you are to guide children and to be an example, to lead them to God, to lead them so that they can have a relationship with God. They can see you make a mistake and and move forward with it. And you don't have to be perfect as a father. Apologize and keep it moving. And at what point do you not realize the the humanity of being a father? We don't know everything, and it's okay to tell your kids, I don't know everything, but we can pray about it, and God will lead us to that thing that you're trying to figure out. That's how you lead your children to God. You show them humbleness. Like, if you know you don't have enough money for something, like, baby, I ain't got it right now, but you know I'm gonna ask your granddaddy, or I'm gonna ask your grandmama, or I'm gonna ask somebody to help out. But at the same time, be man enough to try. Hey, I'm gonna work some more hours, or also don't be out here spending money on everybody else and you can't spend money on your kids. Like that, where they do that at? Like for real, what are we doing? What example are we showing to our kids about what their importance is and whatnot? Like how important they are. Like we and even in our relationships, are we showing them how to relate, even if we not with their mother, and even with their mother? Like if y'all got to exchange words that are not comfortable, you don't have to do that in front of the kids. And if you dealing with a, let me say it, ratchet female that you chose in a less mature state, and that female hadn't matured from that state, then guess what? You need to just hang up the phone if they going all crazy in front of your kid, and do what you can to foster a better environment for your kid. Get your kid more times than not, so that you don't have to, have them exposed to all that craziness. And you ain't got to bash no co-parent just to teach your child, what's good or whatever. And you ain't even got to bring up the other parent at all. You can just say, hey, look, you know, da da da, we should do this. Hit this for a little while. When healing, when healing, you got to deal with some of your daddy issues. You got to deal with some of that anger and resentment that you got from your dad or with your dad. You got to deal with that. You got to deal with what you didn't get and felt you should have got. And you got to forgive them. For they did the best they could at the time was doing. Because whatever decision they made, that's the best decision that they felt they could make at that time. Whether it was good, better than them. Even if they had other options, they made the decision that they made. You got to forgive them so that you can live. You ain't got to, but for you to live, you should forgive. And if you don't want to live, keep holding on to it. The more you hold on to it, the less you grow from it. Be a good example for your children. I know I said that before, but at the same time, don't let the past keep being passed down to your children. Dead it, kill it, end it. Don't keep reliving it. If you keep making the same mistakes, you reliving it. You're not making any change about it. At least change the degree of the mistake that you're making. Instead of spending all the money, maybe you spend half of it. I mean, do something better. Improvement. Success is about doing something better than you did before. That's success. You made improvement. So I'm just saying, as dads, we have a lot of responsibility. And in order to be a better community, we need better fathers, better mothers, better children. And the only way to do that, we as fathers, we drop the seed. We got to choose who we dropping seed in. And we got to choose to be a better person and choose a better person to lay seed to be a better community with better children and raise them. Don't just sit out here and let them go unchecked. Be scared to tell your kid, no, that's wrong. Get off the phone. You're on social media too much. You got too many devices that's causing you to be too stimulated and overstimulated, and then you wonder why you can't sleep at night and you're frustrated and this, that, and the other. You can't focus in school because you overstimulated. You got too many devices. You got games on the computer, the PlayStation and everything else. Not trying to advertise, but I mean, you got you got every phone, every gadget as soon as come out. I mean, at some point, all this ain't necessary. If the power go off and can't recharge the phone, guess what? None of that is being used. Sound like you want to say something?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Um, I was just, I guess, agree with my dad. Talking about just the different gadgets and stuff. Just being able to connect with your family, being able to father your children in a way that they can be good people in the world. So good fathers and mothers as well in the life for what it really offers and hiding behind the screen, being stuck in a virtual reality and not real reality.
Because bills are real.
Bills are so real. And I guess I also want to input us. I guess us as children. I can't guess, but children they may have attributes of you and of their mother, but at the end of the day, they have their own personality. They have their own wiring and way of operating. Um, I guess as being taking a role as a substitute parent, behavior that all things learn differently. Like you may learn a certain way, they may learn a certain way, but how to best teach and give knowledge so that they can receive knowledge is really receive the knowledge and advice, wisdom, etc. You know, to really grasp what they need to be successful in life. Um, yeah.
And picking up on that, I mean, whew, as a father, you are a teacher. And whether you realize it or not, you're teaching your kids something. You're teaching good habits, bad habits. You are teaching something. And if you don't feel like you're teaching something, just look at how your kids respond. Um, what legacy are you leaving for your kids? Is it just the bad stuff? Are you telling them? Are you exposing them to things like businesses, business ideas? You know, different avenues to attain wealth, different ways to progress. Are you learning more things to impart with them? Are you guiding them in ways to show them, hey, look, I may not know it all, but this person, he's good in that, and you got an interest in this, and you seem like you good at this, so so and so who's a trusted person, boundaries, can show you this. I mean, like my daughter wanted to work with animals, so one of my friends was a veterinarian, and I connected them. Trusted person. Now my daughter works with animals for a living. Um, my son, he does programming and robotics. Two of my classmates, I'm like, hey, here's their number. You can talk with them. These guys were in my class, super smart, went to school on full scholarship. They know what they're doing. They're doing it in the industry, all this, that, and the other. I mean, don't be scared to, don't be ashamed to allow, other people to father your children. I mean, I had uncles and family friends that helped guide me along my journey and help me in my businesses and everything else. I mean, even my right, it takes a village. Even the stepfather of my daughter, who she calls dad, and I don't have no feelings about that. He around my daughter more than I am. Not that I don't go get my daughter when I'm supposed to, my youngest, but you know, he married to her mama. So I mean, do the math. It just is what it is. So I don't trip about that, and I respect him and appreciate him and tell him I even wish him happy Father's Day on Father's Day. Cause guess what? You ain't doing my child no harm. You just father my daughter as do your children as far as I can see, and I'm thankful for that, and it shouldn't be a competition on who's the better dad. Just be the best dad that you can be. You can't be this next man. That man has his gifts, you got yours. You just do your part, and we respect each other and stay our lane.
It takes maturity, being a mature man to deal with, situations in life, especially everyone's own personal situation. Being mature enough to have healthy relationships with the people beneficial to your children's life, and that's why I say beneficial, because not everybody needs to be in your child's life at the same time.
Don't need to be.
That don't need to be right. Um, and yeah, I guess going back to even me personally, the my first relationship, the guy that I was dealing with, it was up to us women to figure out and understand the dynamic of what's really going on, and we had to step up and wear the pants to co-parent with the children for the sake of them having a relationship with their own dad, which again sucks, because it's like these are your kids, why aren't you stepping up to make amends, be that head of household to ensure peace and being there for your children.
Pay your child support.
Where that I'm in now, I'm definitely dealing with a more mature individual that
Fathers is kids.
fathers his kids and instills wisdom, and especially having multiple children too. Making sure that they have that unbroken sibling bond, that they know that no matter what, that they're each other's keepers. Like they are gonna always be there for each other, no matter what. They don't let anything. He does not let anything interfere in their relationship. Try to tear their relationship, even themselves. All children have different personalities, and sit between civil rivalry, age gaps, and everything in between. Um, you know, and my dad as well has just done a great job of making sure of instilling those values of, hey, these are your siblings. No matter what, you're gonna always love them, protect them, and support them. And and that's just lesson in life as well. That translate into life when you're working as a team, working in the industry of, hey, if we're on the same team and we trying to accomplish the same goal, then I need to have your back, and I need to trust that you got my back. So,
Exactly. And don't let your grandma be outside with a pressure washer and some booty shorts on. Anyway, I just passed by. I am not putting that lady on the screen. But, oh, Lord. My mama, I tell you, my mama tried to wear some spandex. I said, Mama, this ain't happening. You 70-something years old. We ain't doing that, Mama. We ain't doing that. I'm gonna tell my dad. She stopped boy. She went into the pants off. I tell you that. Okay.
but hey, holding us women accountable. And I know some people might be like, oh, don't be trying to agree with nothing like that. But no, like, we are definitely in the age now that, being provocative is okay. And it's not. It's really not. Because,
Let me just say, I mean, God forgive me for the crassness that's about to come out my mouth. But walking around looking like a slut is not. It's not productive. It's not. It's distracting. Guys gonna look because you showing me. Dogs gonna look because you showing me. And when you condone, showing all this body and not showing character, I mean, what are you saying? You are saying that it's okay to be less than wholesome, that you're not valuable, that the only value you got is in your body. And there's too many people out here thinking that it's better to show body than to show brain and character. You gotta show character. And as a father, you gotta just put your foot down on some stuff and say, no, this is not right. This is not what I'm raising you to be. I'm not trying to make you be somebody's toy, somebody's trophy. And the trophies are to be put on shelves and neglected and end up collecting dust. Think about that now. Because there's a lot of folks that. Okay, let me rewind. Go ahead, baby.
I remember, no, what my dad talking about that. I remember I got this shirt from Rue 21 and it had 69 on it. And I thought it was just a cute shirt with a number. Me not thinking nothing of it. And my dad was like, take that off. And I'm like, why? And I don't think I said that, but in my head I'm like, okay. But him explaining to me what that means and what that represents, it's like, yeah, like I don't want to go out here. And again,
Advertising sex.
right. So again, like my dad always protect me even from myself, for things known, and instill and also impart that wisdom in me. And then I also want to talk about this too. I wanted to say all this to say, in my groups, around people, I've been around, and I've been around some real gangsters, some real thug. And I ain't gonna lie.
Some killers.
Yes. And so, in the midst of me being in certain girl groups, I would say I've had more than a handful of young men come up to me and be like, oh, you, or why you hanging around these girls? You ain't nothing like that. Because how I dress, how I talk, how I present myself, and just the respect went a long way. Like I genuinely had homeboys that really wanted to protect me and thought highly of me because of how I carried myself, how I was taught by my father to carry myself.
And I'm just hearing some of these stories like, woo, of course my chest is sticking out. Well, I just want to say thank y'all for listening. I pray that whatever daddy issues you got, that you can let them go. And if you a sorry dad, may you grow from this. And don't be in a house full of men and all y'all father figures and can't none of y'all cut the grass and take care of the house. But you sit up here asking some other man to do something for your house. Get off your butt and do something for yourself. You got a job, put some money to the side. Stop buying stuff for this. Fix your stuff yourself.